Hello, everybody. I know we're finally back with a Sunday Funday as I almost throw my hand into Megan's face. And yeah, strange enough, we're talking about our comic book movie. Though I do want to try and preface this real quick before we talk about what we saw. Yes, Sunday Funday will return on a actual regular basis. The only thing that will ever now interrupt it is going to be my own laziness. Realistically, the bullshit with COVID and everything just left everything in a fucking state of stupid. I mean, sometimes there were sometimes movies coming out, but then there would be like 2-3 weeks of nothing, and it made it to where it was very difficult to consistently watch movies without going to the Netflix well. Legitimately, that's what I had to do throughout 2020 to be able to keep movies or keep reviews coming out. Is I had to constantly go to Netflix well. I didn't mind that at first, but after a while, just watching the 13th bad comedy or 14th not really great action movie, I was getting really fucking burnt out by it. And 2021 did not improve things in any regard. So, yes, we are returning officially. We will get into what we're going to be watching the rest of the month because I did look ahead. There is actually a fair amount of stuff. And then there's actually some stuff into April. So I will smack the shit out of my shawl. And then we will talk about later on what we're going to be seeing throughout March. What you can look forward to seeing from us. Just to let you know, there also still might be the random every now and then review where might be like, oh, well, we decided to watch this as well. It'll depend on our mood. But as you can see, and as everybody else decided to go see, we went and saw The Batman. I will forever call this, though, the Robert Pattinson. Normally I would let Megan lead this off because she's not as big of a fan as I am of this. And not only that, but as I've made it very abundantly clear, I am a huge Batman fan. But I am going to lead it off. Because fuck this movie. Oh, so I'm going to try not to spoil it just because this is a movie that's very easy to spoil. But in the same instance, it almost isn't, which is bizarre. And I think I figured it out about halfway when we were driving home yesterday after seeing this. And this is the most inconsequential Batman movie I've ever watched. Very little of this felt poignant. Very little of it felt like it mattered, except to just this movie. Not that I think this has to be in another universe and everything like that, but I never got the sense of care for any of these characters. Be it Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, be it, what the fuck's his name? Paul Dano as the Riddler. And definitely I never got it when it came to deal with fucking Andy Serkis's Alfred Pennyworth and Robert Pattinson's Batman. And I'm just going to call him that, because he's not Bruce Wayne, and he barely is Batman. He is Batman in name only. There we go. I'll just call him Bano. Actually, it'd be Bino, wouldn't it? I will try not to throw that too much, but I might refer to him constantly as Bino. I think somebody else had that stupid joke one time about the All-Star Batman. But yeah, long and short, this is a movie where a lot of bullshit happens. You get to deal with... I'll give the movie a positive. It doesn't show Martha Wayne and Thomas Wayne getting gunned down. Thank you. Like, the only thing this has over fucking Batman v Superman, I would say, is that I don't have to fucking see them die again. Not that it's...
For the, 50th time?
I don't know, like, Batman Begins saw it, Batman v Superman, Batman,
Mm-hmm.
Batman Forever had it in there too. That's the third movie. I swear it was in Batman Returns as well.
Possibly as a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they went back to Uncle Ben dying in the third Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. So, comic books are a big soap opera. I don't know if I've said this before, but I...
Yeah, I'm just happy not to see them die, because I don't need to see it. But because of that, we do get a Batman who's sort of starting off. Like, not giving away a ton of the movie. This is Batman 2 years in.
I would say he's a couple years into his whole mission.
Mm-hmm. And if I also want to give a positive, the car's unique. Other than that, Bino is not a very interesting character throughout the entire thing. He constantly is a bad detective, which I don't get how that happens. Like, there is this mystery it all revolves around the Riddler, because he's killing people, and he's like, I'm going to kill somebody each day. And not only that, but because of the length of this movie, did it make it feel like we're going through days and days of stuff, and then all of a sudden, no, actually, this has been in all one 24-hour span.
Yeah, because it goes from Halloween to November 5th.
Yeah, over the course of this 3-hour-long movie. Ugh.
Yeah, it felt like longer than that. It felt like a week, maybe 2, or at least like a week and a half.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way. It's been like 6 days.
Yeah, the movie has a severe time compression issue. I'm having to guess they're going to explain this with The Flash. That's the only way else I can explain the shitty time compression in this.
I don't know that this is part of all of that.
Ooh, I
think Matt Reeves wanted to create his own little, like, self-contained franchise.
Well, I hate to tell him, but Warner Bros. Will be smarter not to do that. Just here.
I mean, I could be mistaken.
That is what Matt Reeves has kind of said he wants to do, but I'm pretty sure Warner Bros. Is like, yeah, we own the characters, so eat our assholes. The one time I will actually agree with Warner Bros. Like, yeah, you want Batman with everything else. Like, honestly, it's like, it's fine doing that. It's
as long as they do it right.
They didn't hear. They did a lot of wrongs. The only right they got was Jeffrey Wright. That's my random pun for the day. Oh, and I will also give out this much. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon is actually really good. He has the right amount of stoicness, the right amount of smartness. And also, Jeffrey Wright's just an awesome guy to have around. I actually love Jeffrey Wright being around. Mm-hmm. It's like, give this man more roles. Everybody else, Zoe Kravitz is okay. She's not bad. She's forgettable, though. Like,
Her mouse looks really dumb.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those burglar, like, ski masks with, like, the bottom part cut out, so it's just a strip across her nose and, like, little cat ears underneath the things. Like, that looks so dumb.
And it's fuzzy. And she has, like, pretty much, like, she wears a leather kind of jumpsuit and all that. Like, she wears what you would expect a Catwoman to wear, except for when it comes to mask, and it looks dumb. It's like, why would the mask match the rest of the outfit?
Yeah, like, we're not asking for Batman Returns. But, like, something that kind of, like, not just, like, be on her head and cover part of her nose. Like, that's not really concealing much of her identity.
Yeah, because you can really see who she is. And not only that, but it would seem like it would constantly fall, is what I would figure. It looked like it would move around
like,
whenever
like,
she was doing it.
Fall or, push up or something. Like, it looks so dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to take some scissors, like, there, I fixed it for you.
But yeah, Zoe Kravitz is Selena Kyle. She's fine. She's not really sexy. She's not really interesting. She's wallpaper.
I don't think she's given much to work with.
Yeah.
To kind of be fair to her, she's there just as eye candy for love interest of Bruce Wayne, of course, and to find her friend who has gone missing.
Yeah. That is the movie has like 15 like B plots going on. It's like,
And like 40,000 motivations. Because she's not just looking for her friend, but she's also trying to get revenge on this one guy.
Salvatore Moroni, or not Salvatore Moroni.
Carmine Falcone.
Carmine Falcone.
Played by John Turturro.
Carmine Falcone.
No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling. I'm just gonna say this much, and it's the same thing I have said a billion times. I don't give a shit about the crime bosses of Gotham. I don't. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't need them. Sure, I get it that they were technically sort of a part of the Dark Knight, but they were at best a amuse-bouche to the Joker. And also to Two-Face. Like, the bigger...
But not about your exes.
What? But they were just so insignificant to the entire idea of the Dark Knight, and they barely came about much. It's like, I'm glad that they were relegated more to the background kind of stuff. So we got to see more of the Joker. We got to see more of Harvey Dent's descent into becoming Two-Face. And hell, they were also still kind of more a minor part throughout most of the Batman Begins. That's fine. I don't need them up front. Because guess what? They're not fucking interesting. They're mobsters. Woo. And that's the thing. Like, a good chunk of this movie is taken up by them. By the shit with a Falcon. I'm just going to call him Falcon, even though I know it's Falcone. Or actually, what was his character's name in John Turturro's character in Transformers? I don't know. I can't even make good jokes. But it's, again, John Turturro's not bad. It's the same issue with Selena Kyle.
Not given much to deal with.
Yeah, he's just...
And he only pops up in a few scenes, like, oh, hey, just remind you I'm in this movie.
Hey, I'm here. Forget about it. I'm from New York. It's like, all right, thanks, bye. It's just, and again, it's like we have to have a lot of stuff dealing with them. I don't care. Because the whole major beginning of the movie, it's Riddler is going on a murder spree. He, to kind of give away a smidgen of the movie, he kills the mayor at the beginning of the film. When I say beginning of the film, literally the first 10 minutes the mayor's dead. Which...
The mayor who's up for re-election.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool, so we're going to start moving forward with this plot. No, the movie has to take 15 diversions before it can get anywhere. There is a red herring with the... I'm sorry, I'm giving away a little bit. There's a red herring with the penguin, which I'm just going to throw it out there. I could have told you from the beginning, no, he's not the major guy because the penguin's just not in this movie all that much.
Yeah, I will say they do make a big deal about him in the trailer and in the movie because he shows up more than Falcone. But ultimately, I will agree with your assessment. He adds nothing to the movie but runtime and a red herring.
Yeah, and Colin Farrell's cool, but I don't know why we have Colin Farrell doing this role.
He has his moments, like where they have him tied, they have him handcuffed, and they have his ankles tied together. Like you can, it's like.
Can't let me loose.
It's like it's it's actually kind of funny how he's walking. It's like
kind of waddling.
Yeah, like a penguin. It's like, oh, God. But
yeah,
there's very little reason for him to be here. I mean, they could have chosen someone else. And I do get what you're saying about the mobsters. It's like I do get that. It's like a lot of shows and movies nowadays. The big bad is terrorists. That's what all the damn NCIS shows tend to focus on. That's what the 24 show focused on. That's what SWAT. At least the first couple episodes, that's all they would seem to focus on. That's why I couldn't get into that show.
Fucking SEAL team.
Yeah, it's like I wanted to get into it for the personal stuff, but there was so much with it's kind of boring to me. But it's like every single show nowadays uses freaking terrorists. Usually, the stereotypical, religious, Muslim terrorists. It's like, okay, I'm bored. Like, what are you doing with this to, like, add to it? Because we get enough about terrorism on the news. I don't need it on my freaking shows.
Well, they weren't going to go with Jewish terrorists. Terrorists. I am speaking good English.
That's real for fun there for a second.
Well, I went over fun. Mere snorkelies. So I went with that. But I think I was just going to make a joke.
Oh, I don't know why it cracked me up so fast.
But what I was going to say is they were going to have Jewish terrorists, but they couldn't figure out how to have him throw flatbread at everybody and then throw foreskins at each other. That was the extent of my joke. It was a Jew joke. Sorry.
My husband, ladies and gentlemen, the second coming of Mel Brooks. He offends everybody.
Yeah, I do it all equally, too.
Men, women, black, white, young, old, it don't matter. He's coming for you eventually.
Yep. Especially if you're fat, too. I'm allowed to make fun of you. I'm one of you.
You're not fat. You're fluffy.
Maybe punches or drink, too.
Actually, I punched your drink.
Why did my drink get punched?
I thought I'd get in on the fun.
What's that? Poor drinks gonna need to go to therapy. Keep getting punched, man. And I'm tea.
I would make a joke about that, but I can't think I can't think of anything.
So you want to kick it? Make it tea cake or something? Fruit tea? Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying about mobsters. It's like, it's not that interesting. It's kind of been done to death in other movies, not even like superhero movies. But like, I get that, but at the same time, I get why a lot of iterations of Batman nowadays tend to focus on the, mobster aspects. I was about to say the criminal aspects, but it's all criminal. So it doesn't really narrow it down. But yeah, the mobster aspect, because it's more grounded in reality. And so I think they feel that it makes it grittier and more realistic and more relatable. And just... And also, it's... I think they're a good portion of why Gotham has such a seedy underbelly. Because of all these mobsters that are running the town, got all these cops and elected officials and whatnot in their pockets, just going around doing whatever the hell they want.
But you want to know why it's so interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're fucking interchangeable.
And yeah, I get what you're saying.
So...
But
Yeah, you can change out Carmine Falcone for Jerry Blowjobs, and then
or
Tommy Two
President
Anals. What?
Or President Magoo.
Yeah, you could change it for Joe Biden to even Hillary Clinton. You got the just choices of fucking mobsters, evil people.
Yeah, that's my political joke for the day.
I mean, but they're all fucking same. They're just rich, or actually they're power-hungry assholes. I don't give a shit about that. And I think that's what eventually just destroyed it for me in this movie, is just that I couldn't care about the reason why Batman was doing what he was doing. Never mind the fact he was a bad detective. There was an obvious, it's this person. I'm saying in my head, I almost wanted to get up at the theater, obviously, would have kicked me out if it did. Because I was about to go, it's this asshole! Why can't you not figure this out? I know you're, starting out 2 years, but Jesus, Batman! It's God, are you trying to get to, fucking, Superman levels of not noticing stuff? Sorry, Superman can be kind of oblivious at times. I like Supes, but he can be oblivious.
Yeah, I think he's more representative of brute strength, whereas Batman, he does have fighting skill and muscle, but he's mostly brains over brawn.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's intelligent, he's cunning, and this Batman is a fucking
whereas Wonder Woman's supposed to be both, I think.
But yeah, this Batman is he's a fucking meathead. And that's another thing. It's like half the time, whenever he's fighting, I'm like, okay, well, he's kind of brawling. Okay, I can get behind that. And I can get behind the fact his training may not have him be, the world's greatest detective in terms of knowing instantly, like, oh, here's who the Riddler's next, people are going to be and everything. But it's like, routinely, Bruce is not, or actually, sorry, Biddo is not figuring out any of this shit on his own. People are having to all but lead him by his fucking nose to the actual answers. And I think what also hurts it is that this Riddler, he's probably one of the more memorable and forgettable Riddlers. It's weird. Like, he's memorable because he's so sociopathic, so leaning towards being willing to kill. But in the same sense, I constantly keep forgetting he's Riddler. One, he's barely in the fucking movie. Two, he looks like a guy who got stuck in a fucking gimp suit for some reason.
Yeah, I think they're trying to have his suit and mask kind of almost emulate Batman.
It's the idea.
But it's just... It's so dumb looking. It's like, he doesn't look like the Riddler. It's like, how are y'all going to call him the Riddler when he doesn't even look like... I mean, I think a big question mark on his chest, maybe. I
don't think he had that. It's just like his motif. He had a question mark that he would put
that he would, like, that was calling card, like... But now you wouldn't know that it was Riddler.
Mm-hmm. It's just... This movie, it sucked. And, yeah, it's 3 hours long, and it feels every second of it.
Yeah, I will even say it does not... As y'all can probably guess, I actually did not mind this as much as he did. Like I actually didn't think Robert Pattinson did that bad a job. Like, I went in with very little to no expectations on Robert Pattinson being Batman / Bruce Wayne. I was pleasantly surprised, like, okay, his acting is actually not that bad. And I actually come to care about him and Alfred and their relationship. And you didn't see this because I was far forward, leaning up against that little table. But now one scene between them, I was tearing up a little bit.
Oh, that's bad because I was laughing right before.
Really?
I was laughing. I don't know if you heard me just...
I don't.
Okay, just a bomb goes off and it hurts Alfred. I'm just going to leave it at that. I laughed hard because it looked so bad. Because another thing to kind of touch on, if I give Matt Reeves anything, he knows how to point the camera in decent areas and get some decent shots. He makes Gotham look good. His CGI work and knowing how to work with it, yeah, it's a lot to be desired. CGI in this movie's kind of garbage throughout all of it. And it looks...
And that flight suit or wingsuit or whatever it's called. That was dumb looking. Like, okay, what? It's just not. It's very undignified and very un-Batman. Like,
it looked so silly.
Yeah, it's like.
But yeah, the CGI looks really
I would
terrible.
almost expect, like, Christian Bale, Batman, to use it almost. I mean, he did something similar in Dark Knight, but...
His suit was always, felt like there was different forms and functions to all of it. This, like, that was the only time where I felt like, okay, there's a form or function to the suit. Besides the fact... So, he does have a batarang, and it's literally the bat symbol that's attached to the front of his suit. And I'm like, so if a bullet hits it, is it like magnetized on there, or is it just kind of hanging on? So it's just like, oh, damn, he knocked off my bat thingy. I mean...
Probably looking way too much into things.
It's just one of those like little minor things. It was goofy every time he'd pull it off. Like, he only did it a couple times, but I was like,
yeah, mostly towards the end.
Yeah, it started looking really silly every time he did that. Hapu, let me pull out my booby cover. But also, the movie's inconsistent with a lot of stuff. minor nitpick here. I will fully admit, like, at one point he's just striding down this hallway getting shot the fuck out by, like, automatic weapons. Just it would have been a cool scene, but it's a little too dark. And then a dude shoots him with a shotgun and it knocks the fucking breath out of him. It's like, huh?
Are you talking about just for the
Near the end of the movie.
Oh, you're talking about
the automatic guns.
The arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait. You were shrugging off higher caliber weapons and a shotgun fucking takes you down like a fucking punk ass bitch? Fucking buster. CJ, you buster. Sorry. Random Grand Theft Auto San Andreas reference. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say the scene between that you're talking about with.
I'm guessing you were like bored to tears with it.
I was just like, I could have told you this, you stupid bastard. Again, it's just
the whole like, well, you needed a father. It's like okay, breaking my heart a little bit.
But see, here's the thing: Bruce could have figured this out if he wasn't being an emo bitch. He was being such an emo bitch. He was Edward.
If I can give him anything, like his whole life and his whole perspective of his family, like, was potentially being shattered. I mean, yeah, even I was like, okay, well, maybe, frame it in this other way, but of course he didn't think about that because he's just, like, trying to process. That's the excuse I'm giving him. But back to the point that we were originally talking about, like, yeah, this movie did not need to be 3 hours. There's, at one point, they go after the Riddler. They
catch him.
Yeah, they arrest him, unmask him.
You see it in the trailers, which is kind of actually.
Get to see his face for the first time. But they do that, and then the movie just continues. I smacked the crap out of my drink this time.
It keeps going because it's setting up eventually no man's land. It's
apparently.
I was just gonna say to talk about Batman and everything. There's a story. It's sort of what Dark Knight Rises was sort of based on, which is no man's land. That was when Gotham was hit by a giant earthquake, and it was pretty much the U.S. government was like, with Gotham. They're like, fuck it, I don't care. Who cares about 8 million people? Fuck them. Let them deal with it. And that was an interesting story, but in the same instance, like, if that is where it really feels like that's where they want to take the second one or the second movie, because this whole big spiel that Benno goes on at the end of the fucking movie. I fear for the second movie, not just because Robert Pattinson's a poor Batman. He's worse than George Clooney.
No, he's not.
Val Kilmer was a better Batman. I'm about to say, don't make me have to bring out the two other ones and smack you in the face with them. Michael Keaton and Christian Bale.
That one, those two I will give you.
Kevin Conroy.
I would say it's hard to top Christian Bale, and it's definitely hard to top Michael Keaton.
Well, they were both Batman and Bruce Wayne.
I'm just saying, it's like, yes, Robert Pattinson, I think, as decent a job as I think he did in this movie, he's nowhere near their level, especially Michael Keaton.
I wouldn't say he's even better than Adam West. He fights slightly better than Adam West.
Anyway, circling back to my original point here. Yeah. They go to arrest Riddler, and to me, they could have just stopped right there. Just end. And then the rest of it, pick up where they left off in the sequel. Like, it did not need to continue.
Again, I think it's because they're setting up No Man's Land.
They could have set it up in the sequel.
No, they're setting up for the sequel. What? Go ahead.
I know, but like they could have just not really ended on a cliffhanger, but they could have just like ended it there. It's like, okay, like we got him. End credits. And like maybe tease like a little bit of the sequel, but pretty much have the sequel pick up exactly where it left off, where he's, heading off to Arkham, because every freaking criminal except for the mob bosses end up in Arkham. That's how you drink it safe from me.
I'm just thirsty.
Okay. That you're trying to protect your drink.
No, I'm just thirsty. Well, because here's what I actually could have done, but it's because Warner Bros. Got very gun shy thanks to Snyder Cut. Y'all really fucked this company up in a bad way. Just in the fact that they're like, oh no, we have to let the directors have all the control. Yes, a production company doesn't need to have 100% always the say. But they still should have some of the say in things that are very important. The Snyder Cut would have absolutely led the DC Universe in even more of a downward trend than it already was. In fact, what money they were able to make back from Justice League, on its original run, they would have lost doubly so if they released it as the Snyder Cut was. Not only is the movie too long, but it's too fucking thick. And that's what happened here. They let a director have way too much say in what was kept in. Honestly, here's the nitty gritty. You could have cut the Penguin out. Like everything. All his scenes led nowhere. He wouldn't have been lost.
Yeah, because little bit of a spoiler here. They ultimately do nothing with him. Again, he's there just to kind of pad the runtime and be a red herring.
Yeah, and ultimately, you don't care.
And I agree with you, like, there are way too many plot points. Like, like, Batman is at one point working with Selena Kyle, sends her undercover at,
The Iceberg Club.
Yeah, the Iceberg Lounge. Actually, this club within a club for, like, the rich.
Rich and politically connected.
Yeah, the rich and powerful. And, like, kind of sends her in there, undercover, and she gets kind of sidetracked with her own little side quest, her own little mission. And it's, like, just kind of a little bit all over the place. It's like, okay, I love the children, continuing with this, not just, constantly, just dropping it and picking it back up at the end, but y'all are constantly just dropping it, picking it, picking up, like...
There's another scene where you can see Riddler go and pretty much kill this one guy, or not really kill him, but pretty much get him put into a Saw device, in all essence. And I don't mean like a Saw, but like the movie Saw, because I guess he watched way too many Saw films.
Head in the thing.
Well, head in this like bomb thing, it was stupid.
Oh, I was not talking about the other guy with the rats.
No, that thing was dumb in itself, but I'm talking about that we had to watch him like, oh, we have to see him catch this guy. Why? We don't need to see this. It's an
Yeah, the DA.
Yeah, it's like, it ultimately, again, it added nothing to the film. Like, there was huge chunks. I'm like, this very clearly doesn't need to be here. And that's the problem, is like, we gave Matt Reeves way too much control. So he's making this, like I said, just bloated fucking mess of a film. Even if I liked the Batman that was in this movie, which I don't, because Robert Pattinson is just doing Edward again. He's just mellow and emo. I really expect him to be like, "You're not my real dad. I'm going to listen to my Linkin Park albums." Growly. It's like...
I'll say I think Y'all Bud says, like, "Oh, well, you're not my real father," to Albert at one point. Y'all Bud says that.
Yeah, and at that point I was like, with this movie, I was like,
I get where you say that he's kind of emo.
Kinda.
The way he dresses and the way he's kind of moping about. But
it really doesn't help. They dyed his hair black for some reason. It's like, why is his hair black? Why not just let him keep his natural hair color? It looks...
Things like his hair color is pretty much like mine, like medium or dark brown.
It was black in this movie.
Well, I mean, that's his natural hair color is what I'm saying.
But his natural hair color is not black. That's where my problem is. Like, yeah, you sure don't need to make him damn near a ginger like he was in Twilight, but still, who is this guy?
I think they did that to kind of emphasize the more gothic aspects. I think they're trying to return to Batman's like kind of gothic origins. Like he's like very gothic, like Victorian gothic in his house.
Oh, his condo. Mm. Which also means that he doesn't know how to fucking look up at one point. Because when this bomb goes off, he's trying to call Alfred. It's like, and until he looks up and goes, "Oh no, it bomb is..." Well, he doesn't say that, but that's what I'm just imagining is going through his head. He sees the bomb is going off. It's like, well, you could have fucking looked up the whole time you're driving, you jackass. Dumbass.
So, I think in summation, he was not impressed. I didn't mind it.
I will also say this much about the movie. I fucking laughed in parts I really shouldn't have. Like, I felt like I was watching it again. Because there was so much that was funny to me that I was the only son of a bitch laughing at. Because I couldn't help it. It was so stupid. Or it was just like, wow, that looks really bad. Like, like we talked about, the wingsuit moment. Is he supposed to be like pulling his cape over him and flying? One, it's this terrible looking CGI they decided to use. And he just fucking crashes into a bunch of... And again, it's bad CGI, so it looks like they bounced like fucking basketball down the thing. And it's like, oh my god, this is hilarious. But, it's... Yeah, I think if I were to summarize like my entire opinions about it, it's a mess of a movie. There's way too much in this. It needs a trimming, something fierce. It's like getting a... if I've ever had a good rib sandwich, oh, so good. But you get like 80% fat, is what it's like.
Or that one steak I think you had at Saltgrass.
Oh, yeah. It was like literally, I had a piece of meat about that big. The rest of it was fat. I was like, Jesus. It's like, guys, I like some gristle.
Some fat needs to be trimmed.
I just need a little bit of trimming here.
Yeah, I was like, I will even kind of agree with it. It's like, yeah, kind of like tighten up some of the storytelling, and also, again, did not need to be nearly 3 hours.
I think many people have said it, and it's the easiest point I can make. Mm-hmm. At least 30 minutes of this movie can easily be cut. Like, it's pretty easy. You can see how much could easily be cut. And that's a problem.
At the very least, after the Riddler's arrest, that right there is like, what, 20 or 30 minutes?
No, I don't think you want to cut there, because it just doesn't set the second film up real well. You need to cut, like I said,
I said, that ending, after he got arrested, that should be the beginning of the next film.
And it's a weird spot to start a film at that point. What would have been better is you just need to cut fucking Penguin. He's 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, you kind of can cut a lot of Selena Kyle out of this film.
I was saying, yeah, they make a big deal about Colin Farrell as Penguin, and he does a good job acting-wise. It just, you can't hardly tell that it's him.
Duh.
Because he's under so much makeup and a fat suit, and because apparently he's had problems before trying to like gain weight for a role and then lose weight, and then like he's like, okay, I'm not gonna put my body through that ringer. It's like I don't blame him at that point though. It's like, I'm not gonna rub my body. It's like, you know, go ask Christian Bale to do that.
I was saying, Christian Bale will do it. He'll fucking do it twice.
Yes, like it's like if I'm not, it's like if I was an actress, like I'm not ruining my body for this. Sorry, I'm not that committed.
Less ruining your body, less more possibly fucking killing yourself. Because your heart, mind, side go, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Fuck this. Fuck you.
It's like 1 week we're fat, and the other we're skinny little bitches. What are we doing? Who are we even?
So, any more you want to say about the Batman?
Nope.
Also, I think we can agree on one other thing. The movie sucks. Call it something else. Batman Year One, I think, would be even okay, or just something other than the Batman. It's like because
Yeah, it's a little bit more creativity and actual thought going into the naming of this. Like maybe kind of brainstorm. Just throw stuff out there. Just
it's like they just woke up some dude some dude who was just sitting there. They kicked the chairs like, what are we gonna call the new Batman movie? Oh, it's Batman. All right, thanks, Tom. Great idea. All right, cool. And they just let him go fucking back to sleep. It's like maybe let him like get some coffee in, think for at least a minute or two. So, what would you give the Batman?
I think I'd have to give it like a 7. I think I know what you're gonna give it. You're totally gonna give it a 10. Actually, an 11, because he's going to 11.
He's going to 11. Honestly, what I would give this is a 2. Jeffrey Wright is very good in the role. I will not mind seeing him as Commissioner Gordon. But you gotta lose Robert Pattinson. He's not a very particularly good actor. He's never been anything that's been a compelling to me.
I'll say, damn, he was ripped in this.
Yeah, he was skinny as fuck, I know. Yeah, he desperately needs to put some fucking muscle on. This dude is a fucking beanpole. Like, let me just put it this way. Henry Cavill makes him look like nothing. Christian Bale, at the end of The Mechanist, made him look like fucking nothing. And Christian Bale was a fucking twig in that. Literally. He doesn't have any good muscle. You can't tell he can't see his muscles real well. He
Muscular definition?
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Muscular definition was what I was trying to say, and I could not say anything. I mean, hell, like, you put him up against any wrestler right at this point, he looks like a fucking just skinny man.
Well, he's definitely ripped compared to his role in Twilight films. But it's like...
I'm ripped compared to his role in the Twilight films.
True.
And my six flab.
But yeah, you see him shirtless at least once. It's like, damn, you got ripped.
I need to show you what an actual muscular person looks like.
That's also surprising my age.
Yeah, just honestly, don't see this, guys. It's not a good movie.
Or watch it and decide for yourselves. Like, maybe if you're really not that sure about it, wait for it to come on, like, HBO Max or something.
That's the highest praise I could say. It's like, wait till it's available to torrent, or wait for it's any way for you to watch it without having to give it a ton of direct money. It's not a compelling enough story to really keep you engaged. So you're going to find yourself like me. There was a number of times I found myself just kind of like wandering in my own thoughts, because I'm like sitting there going, it's like, oh, I wonder what new movie I want to buy soon. What do I want to do this? I found myself just completely uncared about half of what was happening. The movie just, it meanders way too much for its own good, and ultimately, unless you're super invested in this shit with the fucking crime families in Gotham, you're going to find yourself probably checking out of this film a lot more than you're going to find yourself checking in. You might like Robert Pattinson's emo-ass fucking Batman. You might find it the most godforsaken thing in the world. But I don't see anybody just absolutely saying, like, oh, it was a great Batman. Unless they're high as fuck. Everybody's like, he was passable. We put up with him. Ugh. And also, here's another thing. Why couldn't I have got Ben Affleck instead? I would have preferred Ben Affleck Batman.
I think he's just done. He's just done with all the criticism. But
It would have been a lot more interesting
it's like
than
Ben
this
Affleck,
guy.
you gotta realize that's mostly directed at Zack Snyder.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was also tired of Zack Snyder's shit.
Possibly.
There's probably a lot of times he was like, Zach, that's not how movies work. He goes, Zach, put the unicorn down.
Though I still say he would have made a much better Superman. Have Henry Cavill be Batman. It's like, switch roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx and Law-Abiding Citizen.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the Batman. Well, I guess we need to talk real quick about what we're going to be watching throughout the rest of... Oh, God, my phone locked. It was like, no. I was just trying to go backwards. I was like, nah, you don't need to. So, next week, what you're going to be able to watch us talk about. We're going to be talking about... I need to see if it actually has its name on here. It doesn't have it on here.
Turning Red.
I thought it was Big Red. I don't know. It's the giant red panda movie.
It was supposed to come out sooner, but... And also in theaters. But now they're releasing it on Disney Plus on my dad's birthday.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, either it's going to be a good movie or it's going to be a mediocre shit film. Who knows? I'm probably leaning towards it. Is it a Disney or is it a Pixar film? I have been woefully unimpressed with Disney for a while. Like, the best thing they have set, or they put out is Encanto, and even then, the best I can say is I didn't hate it. That's my glorious review of it.
Yeah, I don't give people things like, oh, we want to talk about Bruno stuck in my head. It's not that catchy, at least not to me.
Mm-hmm.
I might be the one weirdo here.
No, you are weird, but whatever.
You marry this.
I know.
I was like, so I'm a weirdo. I'm your weirdo.
Yep, that is very,
It's like,
very
you're
true.
my weirdo.
So, the week after that, we're going to be watching our Disney Plus movie, and I might hang myself. It's cheaper by the dozen. It can't be worse than what we just watched. So, that will be a thing. So, at the end of March...
Why did this need to be remade again? Because the Steve Martin, for you youngins, that was a remake.
It's not funny. So, the week after that, it just depends on what is going to be more easily available for us to be able to watch. Mm-hmm. So, I actually have been watching trailers for this, and I'm very interested in it. And that is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That is the new A24 movie. That's the movie where she's hopping through different...
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about,
Yeah, it looks fucking bizarre.
Yeah, the one lady, she was like Crazy Rich Asians, and...
Yeah.
I would say she was in the Mulan remake, playing Mulan's mom.
Sure. Sounds right.
I want to say.
But yeah, the only thing that's going to hold that back is depend upon if we can go see it anywhere near us. Because that's just the long and short. Is like our theater's still kind of funky about shit. If we don't, then we're probably going to see The Lost City. It's all I can say.
I mean, it might be funny. Brad Pitt just...
The bad thing is Brad Pitt's not going to be in the movie much.
Yeah, probably not.
It's going to be a lot of Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock. All about Steven it up. So, yeah, that's how March is going to be looking. We're going to be a whole lot... if anything does change, you'll see it come up out of nowhere, so... But if I can get Megan off of her phone for a second.
I was just looking up Michelle Yao.
Yow!
The lady from the A24 movie you were mentioning.
But hey, that's our opinions. Go torrent it. Don't get this movie money. Let Warner Brothers realize, like, no, we don't want to do this. Because here's the thing. Because Joker made money, they made this. Because this is making money, they're going to make an even dumber dark movie. Like, they're going to do something super fucking stupid. Like, they're going to have...
I just had a really bad thought. I really hope that Joker is not tied in to the Batman. Like,
it will be. Because they make money. Because people were stupid and watched both these pieces of shit.
How are you gonna... unless they're talking about, like, a younger version of Joker. Because it takes place in, like, 2 different time periods.
No, because this Batman has a very hard timeline of 2004. That's when his parents died.
Well, I mean, Joker took place back in... For some reason, I was thinking of the 70s. Like, maybe not. I don't...
It's the 80s. She's pretty, but she's goofy. So, yeah, like I said, just torrent the movie. Don't give it money.
No, just wait for it to come on HBO Max if you're that doubtful over it.
Yeah, just... Like I said, if you like Batman, I'm sorry, you're going to hate this movie. You're going to hate fucking...
I don't know, maybe that's the thing. It's like, I'm not as devoted to Batman as you are.
I'm not devoted to him, but I do like his character being done right.
I'm not as, like...
You don't care that if they're going to butcher his character.
I care a little bit, like in, like, Batman vs. Superman. I care a little bit, but my biggest issue is Superman's character. It's like, okay, everyone knows how Superman is. Batman, not as much, but everyone knows Superman's personality, what he stands for, and everything. And it's like, that's just a big old pet peeve of mine. And also, I really like Superman.
I like Batman. I like them not to rape his character.
I mean, I am cynical as fuck in my old age, but I still like the fact that Superman, he's seen the best and worst of humanity, but still believes in the best.
Until
believes that humanity can be better.
Until he became Murder Man.
We don't speak Murder Man versus Captain Hypocrite.
Yeah. Let's get on this. Because here's the long and short. I hate to tell y'all, I will watch Batman and Robin 5 million times more than I'll ever watch the Batman. Like, it's a generally much more interesting movie. And it's got a better Batman.
Actually, they had a clip of Batman and Robin when we went to go see it at Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, when people talk during the movie.
It's like, don't show a better movie before you're seeing your movie. So that's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching the thing. It's like, they're about to do the, hey, when people talk during the movie, let people know. It's like, don't be talking during the movie. Don't be on your phone, nothing. Just shut up and watch the movie.
Yeah.
But I tell people this.
But yeah, so we'll be back next week with the Panda movie, which I can't remember the fucking name of this.
Turning Red.
I remember for a while it was called Big Red for a bit. And I was like, is it named after the gum?
Or maybe it's named after the soda.
Oh, but hey, we'll see you next week with some pandas. So until then, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.